Hi, I'm Noelle Wanamaker. I'm a senior executive leader and I've been with UBAM for 5 years. I joined August of 2017 and promoted to team leader that October. I promoted up through director and right now I'm a senior executive leader. I am mama of 3. Gabriel is 7, Hannah is 5, and Grace is 5 months. We are a military family. My husband is in the Army. He's currently deployed right now, which kind of goes into what I'm going to talk about today. So before we get started, I want you to go ahead and grab some Post-it notes, note cards, pieces of paper, anything like that, and just grab them and bring them back here. You can go ahead and pause this. That's totally fine with me. What we're going to talk about is seasons. There are seasons for everything, whether it's weather, whether it's farming, there's life cycles, everything goes through ups and downs. And so what I'm going to talk to you about is the seasons of hard. But when we're talking about seasons, there's never a period of time when, let's say for a farmer, where it's harvest all year round, where they're constantly bringing in new crops. There is a period of planting, there's a period of watering and tending and waiting and faithfulness, and then there's a period of harvest. And for us in our business, that means that there is a period of planting seeds, and then there is the long wait until the harvest. Sometimes it's a short wait, but sometimes it is a really long wait until that harvest. But if you are working with your team leader and you know you're doing all the right stuff, then keep doing that because the harvest is going to come. So just keep going. So before I go into talking about some of the hard that I've experienced, I want to say that all of us are going through some type of hard. Don't compare your hard to somebody else's and say, well, their life is so much harder than mine. If your hard is hard for you, guess what? It's hard, and that's okay. What we're gonna do is talk about how to turn these hards into basically take advantage of them. But we need to figure out what you need to do specifically in order for you to adapt and then thrive in your business. So let me talk about some of the hards in my own life. When I first joined, my husband was in command. That meant he was gone from 4:30 in the morning to 8, 9 o'clock at night, and sometimes had to take phone calls at night. Then I was in command. Mine was a little bit different. I'm a reservist, so it didn't take as much time for me, but it still was a lot of pressure. Then there were some difficult relationships along with that time. Then we moved. We wanted to go overseas. We got sent over to Germany. I was super excited to go over there, but knew it was going to have a huge impact on my business because it was a 6-hour time difference. Then living overseas for 2.5 years and COVID, everybody experienced some type of hard for COVID. Then we moved back, and then I got pregnant and went through the first trimester exhaustion and then the last trimester exhaustion. Then we had our baby, and then we moved again from Kansas to Tennessee. And then my husband deployed, so that's currently where we're sitting right now. There is always something, always some type of hard that's going to come up in your life. And you know this just from talking with hosts and talking with potential new team members. They're all experiencing something hard. It is just turning what is hard about that and using it to our advantage. So some of the things that come up when we're going through these hard seasons are fears. So for me, when I was in Germany, I was like, nobody else is going to want to do these hours. Nobody wants to get up at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning to work. But guess what? I was wrong. I did have some team members join me over there, and I was stuck in this limited mindset for almost a year until I finally was like, you know what? Let me just ask. Let me just find out. And I did have some people join me from over there. There might be some beliefs like I can't build a team when fill in the blank. When I just started, or when I don't even know how to do this yet, or when I'm not an expert. You can fill in the blank. You know what would apply in your situation and things that you have told yourself. I'm not on top of things right now. How can I help my team? I'm not like so-and-so. I can't be the leader that she is. I'll wait until blank changes, whether school starts or the summer ends or whether school ends, all of these different things, whether I'll wait until my kid starts napping better. Who knows what it is, but we all have different limiting beliefs and things that hold us back in these different seasons. And what I'm going to help talk you through is changing them. So before we go on to that part, I do want you to take those pieces of paper that I had you take out and go ahead and write a couple of, let's say write 3 of your fears on them or limiting beliefs on them. And then I want you to unpause it after that. Okay, so now we are going to take those fears and flip them on their head. So we are going to breathe belief into them. So we're going to give ourselves life-giving thoughts. So if you had written like, I can't lead a team when I don't know what I'm doing, or something like that, you can flip it and say, I can lead a team as long as I'm just one step ahead. As you can see, that's kind of like a flipping of your thought. Like, yes, you struggle, but as long as you're one step ahead, you can do it. I'm not like so-and-so, so I can't be the leader she is. I have special talents and abilities that my team needs. Different things that breathe life into your own mind and into your business, and they will start to help change them. So this may be like, I can't work when my child isn't napping well, or I can't party when my kids don't go to bed at the same time. You can change that and say, I can get a babysitter one night a week so that my kids have somebody taking care of them, and I can take that time for my party business. And you can take that's flipping it on its head, and that's using creativity to then adapt in that season of hard and allow yourself to work towards thriving in there. So you can go ahead, and I want you to take those specific 3 fears that you had, and then on another sheet of paper for each one, I want you to write a new belief about it, and then you can unpause. Okay, now you have your new beliefs that have been flipped from your former fears. I want you to make this decision that this is what you want. I would like to take a gamble and say it is what you want, because you're here watching this training. You've already worked so hard, whether you've promoted already or whether you've launched, you've put in that effort already, and you have already started to accomplish things. When you have those fears of like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I should quit, I want you to take a second and just look at how far you've come already. What amazing things have you done so far? How many families have you affected so far with your business or by getting books in their hands already? And know that you've done that because of this business and because of the changes that you've already made in yourself. So I want to say that you have the choice to make excuses in your seasons of hard. You absolutely can. I could say, hey, my husband's gone, he's deployed, I don't have time at night, I don't know how I'm going to do this, it's not going to work, and I could just not do it anymore. Or you can take action. So in this season, I could say, hey, I'm going to work on my phone when I am nursing my daughter or getting her to go to sleep. And it's just taking those moments and figuring out where you can adjust things to make this season of hard work for you. There's always going to be a new hard. So I feel like it's always once you finally get a groove of things going, you get to have it for a little while, and then something comes up and a new hard happens. And that's okay, because that helps us to grow. But it is up to us to choose to grow and choose to adapt. So as you enter into a new season of hard, I want you to take some time to figure out a routine, figure out the fears that you have, how to turn them over into positive beliefs that are life-giving, and then figure out kind of a routine. Give yourself some grace through that transition period, because it's always not very pretty in the beginning, and that's okay. It's all a learning process. It's never a smooth move from one thing to another the first time, or even the second or third time that you're doing it, because things change. But work to build a routine as much as you can. Just be willing to be flexible, because if you're set and like, this is how it needs to be, this is going to make this, if I do this, it's definitely going to work. Because if you have these set expectations, and you're not willing to be flexible, you will end up being frustrated, and we don't want that. We want you to be able to adapt. So just be aware that you are going to have to be flexible. You are going to have to be creative, and it's going to work out. You just have to keep pushing through, identifying those beliefs and those fears that are holding you back in this season of hard, and flip them. And then here's the last thing I want you to do before I leave. I want you to take your fears that you've written down, and I want you to tear them up and throw them in the trash. And then take the new beliefs and the life-giving beliefs that you have, grab a piece of tape if they're not sticky notes or Post-it notes, And I want you to post it somewhere where you're going to see it. And that way, when you're going through, whether it's on a refrigerator or a mirror, or a doorway that you go through all the time during the day, or on your dashboard at your car or at your office at work, somewhere where you're going to see it and where you're going to have that life affirming phrase and belief just that you are constantly filling your mind with, so that you don't get trapped in that negative thinking. Thank you for taking the time to invest in your business by watching this training and participating. And I can't wait to hear how your lives are being changed and how you're able to work through the hard and the awesome things that you do for your business. Thank you so much.